All right, here's where we left off the other day. We got this bed. So you guys saw in the last video that I did go and purchase a box truck. I have to wait until the 1st to go pick it up. So I have a whole video on that. But that is going to be a huge game changer with storage and saving money and just a bunch of different things. Let me know what you think about that. But I found one of these trailers. I found a 2016 without the grating. It had an actual steel deck the whole way down. The guy wants, I think it was $11,500 for the exact trailer I have, and his was a 2016. And I'm just thinking, man, do these things really bring in that much? Because I know these things go for like 15-ish new, but they come with all the problems of a new one, and they don't have the flip outs and whatnot. And I'm like, the car market's doing kind of ass right now, and I'm really thinking about going and getting a 40-foot flatbed. So I don't know, everything has a price. So I'm gonna get this bed pushed over, we're gonna strap it down. I got a truck tomorrow, a 3rd gen just like this, that has a 12 valve in it that's just sitting in it. So we gotta go pick that up and winch it up on here in Maryland. And then we get to do a full 12 valve swap on one of those. What in... Hopefully that's mud and not dog shit. But all in all, today what I want to do is we have a couple of topics to discuss today. But I want to get these installed on the trailer. If I were to sell it, by the way, I do have the battery for it. But I want to get these things installed somewhere on there so that, like, all of this, so we can run this wiring if somebody were to want to use it like I have it, or you could put it down here. But I need to find a way to charge everything. And I started looking at winches as well. Just put one in the old cart in Amazon. It's like $370, $380. So I'm thinking about also putting a winch in here as well. Which brings me to the next topic, because every situation's different. I've made this topic a bunch of times. We have, you know, a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive truck. And what I hear mainly from the 4-wheel drive community is because they need it, everyone should have it. And that is the most ass-backwards thing I've ever heard. Because I'm sitting at my dad's, and that's the only place 4-wheel drive is ever necessary, but we have 15 vehicles in the driveway. So I should lose 4 miles per gallon and have 4-wheel drive on my truck, is the logic of these people, which makes absolutely no sense when you have 15 other vehicles in the driveway. So I backed in yesterday to go pick up the frame, and we got it a little stuck. You know, not a big deal. We have 15 vehicles, like I said, and a tow rope. Much cheaper than having 4-wheel drive. So it seems like the 2-wheel drive guys just kind of mind their own business, and then the 4-wheel drive guys have a bug up their ass and say everybody needs to have 4-wheel drive. Mainly the guys that are compensating will tell you if they have it, they'll force other people's to have it. But then you have the good people that are like, hey, I have it because I use it, which is fine. I don't have anything against 4-wheel drive, but if you have 4-wheel drive and you tell somebody that they need to have it, kindly go pound sand. That's kind of my logic on it. I have no need for it. And I have noticed, so we started messing with the tuning on this. I am able to get 20 miles a gallon empty with having a 2-wheel drive truck. And I don't think that I will ever buy a 4-wheel drive truck again. I don't have a need for it. If somebody does, great. I just don't. Just to go up a driveway, you know? Now, if you're doing power only, absolutely. Get yourself 4-wheel drive, because there's going to be places that you will need it. 100%. But to pull this thing around, no. If you're getting yourself in situations where 4-wheel drive is necessary, you've already done goofed. I don't recommend it. Well, that's just me. So I have storage now for this coming up on the 1st. I think that's what we're going to end up doing with that box truck, is I'm going to pull the cab off of that truck and put it in the box truck. Put this in the box truck, put all my parts. Basically a glorified storage unit. I do want to have a little bit of a bunker in that, but that'll come when we go ahead and, you know, once we get everything all finalized and whatnot. I have the cash in hand. We're going on the 1st to go pay for it, transfer the title, and then I have a running driving box truck, and it's like a 16-footer, so that's kind of nice. And then we'll be able to put it here, and if I need to park it, I can just park it on top of this thing. It's not a big deal. So basically free storage. But let's get ahead. I want to redo these connections here because I think this one was pretty decent, but I'm gonna end up cutting these. I'm gonna end up cutting all of this off and redoing all of the connections right here. But yeah, I'm gonna undo all these connections and get rid of this crap because I want it done as nicely and correctly as we can possibly get it. I also like to pull this bed up a little bit. Since it is upside down, I want to like kind of flip it the other way so that it's long ways. We'll see if we can do that. So to summarize, that way people don't take this the wrong way. If you have 4-wheel drive or you have 2-wheel drive, I could care less what you have. But if you're going to force your beliefs on somebody else, that is where I have the problem. If just because something works for you does not mean that it works for somebody else. So don't think I'm coming at the guys who have 4-wheel drive, because I honestly could care less. Everybody's situation's different. I personally do believe that in the state of Pennsylvania there is no need for 4-wheel drive. But that's just me. That's my situation. Alright, so we're messing with the pre-boost again. So remember before I did 1, 2, 3. Now what I did was 1, 2, the opposite direction. So getting rid of more low-end fuel. And then I'm going to come over and we are going to do the star wheel again, because I am determined to get as much smoke out and as much fuel mileage in as possible. So I know that 25 miles per gallon is almost impossible for what I want. But I do at the same time want to try to see if I can't get 22 empty before we go ahead and put big tires on this thing. There we go. Now we're in and we'll tighten her up. Alright, so I pulled the star wheel. I don't know, something like 15 clicks or something. So we're getting it pretty close to taking as much fuel out as possible. Once it starts feeling sluggish, I know that I can go the other direction. But pre-boost is the main importance, because with pre-boost, that's the minimal fuel that it's going to dump ever. So super simple, that one. Alright, here's where we're at. Truck idling in the background. I got it flipped around. Now I just got the winch cable on it. You guys can see we're going to go to the center of the bed so we don't damage anything where the gooseneck hole is. But we do have this little bit of damage here, so I got to kind of give her the old pry every now and again. See, it's wanting to take the back end that way. So I'm going to turn the camera off and try to get this up and over, and we'll go from there. All right, bed is on. It's a little bit further over that way, but we're not over the legal length or width, whatever. I like to use this tire as a reference. What I'll do is I'll like compare it up to those fenders right there, and we're good. Same with over here. We'll compare it and it just touches. So we're good. Gonna put 4 straps on it. And then tomorrow we'll go grab that Dodge. It's a 3rd gen. I forget what year he said it was. But like nothing is done to it yet other than the engine's apparently just sitting in it. So that's gonna be a fun job. We get to finally do a full 12-valve swap on the channel. And I can go through with you guys and show you how to do it correctly from the mistakes that I made. You get to learn from those, and we get to do it correct the second time for a customer, which is nice. Whereas with this, I'll go over it once we get another motor at some point. But yeah, let's get this thing strapped down. This thing will be all prepared, and then I will throw these guys up in here. All right, this thing ain't going anywhere now. Let me grab a shot of the inside for you guys. So this corner down, and then I take the straps across. So basically 2 straps are pulling that way and 2 straps are pulling this way, and we're all good. It's not gonna go anywhere. These things are light anyway, so that'll be perfect for tomorrow. All right, there we go. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring this one up higher. I would have loved that, but where it's at is fine. You got the positive here, negative here. For me to do that, that's kind of how it had to be done. I put a ton of this in here, and I'm gonna go and grab some RTV and put it around the top. That way no moisture or water can get in from like this way. And then I'm gonna put some more up in here just to keep water out and moisture and whatnot. Then we'll go over our straps, get them all organized, and get this mess cleaned up. Then we're going to test drive the truck again. There is going to be a ton. You can't just tune this thing once and be done with it, unless you have AFC Live, which I did get asked about that. I probably will get it one day, but right now it's just not on my list of things to get. So people also at the same time will tell you, what's cheaper, having 4-wheel drive and having that ease of mind or peace of mind? I prefer this. This is like $20 on Amazon, And I will take that all day over having the 4-wheel drive. And that's just my preference. You know, if you don't see me getting all bent out of shape because somebody else is doing something that I'm not doing, or someone else isn't doing it the same way that I'm doing it. People worry too much. That's what I think. I started looking last night. I need you guys to give me suggestions because I'm looking for 315/70 17s, but I don't want mud tires. You know, I got probably another 30,000 miles before I decide to go and eventually buy tires, but I need to figure out what you guys think. I did the MTs. They lasted me about 55,000 miles, but they were noisy and I hated it. Yes, they had a 12,000 pound rear axle capacity with all 4 tires on there because they were like, I think it was like 3,000 pounds a piece and times 4. So they could handle a good bit of weight, but I just hated the noise they created. I do like these, but I don't think they make these in the size that I want. So if you guys have anything you can recommend, let me know. We'll start looking. All right, we're gonna see how this thing runs. We'll get to do some testing out on it tomorrow. Guys, I'm telling you, I've been on the load board now for probably 2-3 days looking for stuff, and it's just been god awful. That's just the nature of it. There is absolutely nothing on there profitable, and for me as a local driver, it just doesn't make sense to run. So we are finding other opportunities where we can, you know, where money is actually at. It's kind of why I'm like, are the rates going to come back? Which they, you know, they realistically should come back. But I would like to say that if they don't come back pretty soon, you know, maybe we'll see what can happen to the Kaufman, and maybe we do finally go invest in something that can let me be able to do pretty much everything. So from freight, cars, you name it, whatever. The only thing is I'm kind of stuck right now in between getting my CDL, so it's like, what makes the most sense? So we'll see, but let's honestly see how the truck pulls now with, I pulled a decent bit of fuel out of it. Hopefully still pulls all right. You know, if we got all the smoke out and it's still pulling, then we can start going in the opposite direction. I can already tell you down low, I can kind of feel that it's not gonna be as smoky. All right, so it's still cold, but we'll see. Need to get it warmed up before we can do a full, like, see if it's working or not. There was a little bit of a puff there, but like it was a puff and then it went away. But it definitely doesn't feel as responsive. So we've gotten, let's see. Oh, that's laggy as shit. It is so laggy now. That's very laggy. It needs 100%. Okay, so it needs a little bit more star wheel. So we're at the point where we'll start adding 5 clicks of star wheel. Definitely needs more of it. It's like throttle. Like you'll hold it for about 5 seconds and then it'll go. I would be curious to see what the EGTs are like. I'm gonna go get me some tacos from Taco Bell, but let's see what the drivability is like normally. I took the springs off the turbo the other day and just let it run open. And if you were under like 2,300 RPMs, you could floor it and just hold it at that floored position for about 5-10 seconds before it would spool. And if you were anything under 2, it wouldn't spool at all. So I think we're at the point where that's its limit, okay? We've gotten all the smoke that we can get out of it with the fuel plate being where it's at. Now we need to start adding some. So that's good, we're getting somewhere. Yes, AFC Live would make this a whole lot easier, but that costs money. And if you're on a budget, this is basically what I'm gonna show you. So you guys can see real world stuff, budgeting. You can make good power for very, very cheap. A set of 3K governor springs are probably about 30 bucks, 20, 30 bucks. And then a zero fuel plate is free. You can make it yourself. There we go, just a puff. It's free, you can make it yourself. You ain't gotta worry about spending a shitload of money. 20 bucks will get you a decent setup. You just need to learn how to tune it yourself and figure out where the happy medium is with like smoke and whatnot. I think I'll add 5 more clicks, and then at that point, then we'll just start towing with it tomorrow, and we'll see. Oh, that's a curve. It puts out a little bit of puff right in the mid-range before it spools. I think that is as best as I can do. I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna let it go for a little bit and see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But it is physically impossible to get all the smoke out, I can tell you that. We're losing power at this point. Losing power and response. There was a time I was actually able to floor it and hold it in that certain spot, and it took a good 3 or 4 seconds before it finally decided to light. It'll blow a puff of smoke and then all of it's gone. Let's see if I can kind of show you guys. There you go. Little puff. I don't know how well that came on the camera. Puff of black, and then it's just a haze the whole way up. Which is fine, because I'm not going to be like flooring it everywhere. Like if I were to hit the throttle right now. Yeah, see there's like almost nothing back there. So I wish there was a way I could show you and, you know, do the talk over it and whatnot. But that's pretty much going to do it. So it's going to be a super short video today. I know some guys, they do like the shorter videos, so I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Tomorrow's video will definitely be a lot more interesting. But with these prices, it just, unfortunately, it does not make sense to really go out and try to book anything. The loads that I was doing from New Jersey, or Pittsburgh to New Jersey and back and whatnot, they're paying about $1,000 right now. So they're paying like 90 cents per car, which is just not really worth it right now with the fuel prices. Back when they were paying that same amount, it was like $3.50 for diesel, which was fine, but not really worth it. So I'll try to book something for next week. We'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of it. Life is life. You just gotta, you know, find your ways around it. There's a lot of guys going out of business right now because of this, and I'm definitely not going to be one of them. I have a decent amount of capital, so I'm not super worried about that. If I didn't want to run for the next 2 or 3 months, I could certainly do that, but it's super boring. I prefer to get out there and do something. That's just who I am. So I really don't like to just sit and do nothing all the time. It's nice every now and again, but not all the time. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Don't forget, go down below, check out my Amazon affiliate links. I have stuff down there if you guys are interested. 12-out parts, tools, you name it. And we also have Coinbase and Mudflap down in the description. So go check it out. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video. Later. Alright, gonna have the boys help hook up a trailer. We already got it hooked, but hold on, hold on. Let me get your shoe, boy. This is what we all do it for. Every day I come out here and post videos, and whether people like them or not, you know, whether they're hot shot related or just fun stuff, this is what we do it for. This is what we do it for. Here, over here, buddy. Here. So we're gonna get them. Here, Liam, you, uncrank. Uncrank. And then we'll get everything hooked back up. I guess, probably. So this thing, all good, no need to worry about that. I got that all tight. Good trailer. Yeah, car market is kind of shot right now. So shop work is gonna have to do. Liam, that's the wrong way. You're going up. There you go. So we'll get that dropped down. I do keep forgetting about the bags. I do need to put 5 pounds in them at a bare minimal. So once he drops that, I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure in the bag. So he'll drop that all the way. We'll see how much it's gonna squat. Probably put like 15, 20 pounds in it. You enjoying? What are you doing? Always living dangerously.